Welcome to Math Solve. In this video, we are going to look at two problems based on bearing. And if you look at the first problem, an airplane flies 138 kilometer in a southerly direction from a military base to a drop-off point. The drop-off point is 83 kilometer west of the airbase. Find the bearing and correct to the nearest degree of the drop-off point from the airbase and the airbase from the drop-off point. Okay. In these problems, first we need to visualize it and try to draw the diagram, because that diagram will help us, because if you plot that diagram you will see that you will get a right angle triangle, and then you can apply the trigonometric ratio to solve the problem. That's very easy. So all about, you need to figure it out the diagram. That's the main job. Okay. Now, if you look at that, the airplane flies 138 kilometer on a southerly direction. It means if you think that this is our starting point, and it is going 138 kilometer to the south, so it means it's going to south, that direction. This is south. And if you just imagine that we have a pole, north pole, this pole, south pole, like that. So this is obviously, this is our north, right? So this is our north, right? So it's, you are going from starting point, you're going southerly direction, so it means you're going down, right? Now if you come down by 138, so let's say this is our 138 and then kilometer, and then it's going to the drop. So this is starting point, is which is air base, and is the drop off point. The drop off point is 83 kilometer west, so it's going first 138 towards south, and then 83 west is sitting there, right? 83. So let's say this is our 83, that distance from here. So it is basically your drop off point, which is representing by D, is sitting here. So if I connect this line, so this is our air base here, starting point going south and then going west direction, which is D is 83 kilometer. And now you can see it is actually giving you the right angle triangle. If you just look at this right angle triangle, right? And from that you have two information. And if I ask you what is the drop off point from the airbase, and it's asking for the bearing, it means I am asking the angle from here to here, because from airbase to drop off point, this is the connected line, straight line. And bearing means we are looking for the angle from the north pole to that line and to the clockwise direction, obviously. So in order to get that angle, it's 180 plus this that much, right? 180 plus that much, right? So let's say this is our theta. So how to get theta? And you know that if it is theta, this is opposite, this is adjacent. So tan theta will help us to get the theta. So if I choose tan theta is giving us opposite over adjacent. We know that SOHCAHTOA, opposite over adjacent. In this case, opposite is 83, adjacent 138. And if I just use theta equal to tan inverse 83 over 138, and it will give us, if I do the calculation, and obviously it is giving us 31 degree. Okay, so it is asking for nearest degree, we can write down 31 degree, but it is asking the total angle. So if I do the question A, obviously question A is asking the total, that is the bearing, so total bearing, right? If I just write down in the back color, so this is our bearing, right, for the question A. Okay, now it would be 180 plus 31, as I mentioned already, so which is 211, right? 211 degree. And question B, you can see question B is asking for from the air base, the bearing of the air base from the drop off. So when it's saying from the drop off, we have to make a north pole at that drop off point, because at that point, from that to that, so from D, so we have to make a north pole at D and see how much angle its DA is making with that north pole. Obviously it's asking for that angle, you can see. So that's, and then also clockwise direction, so this is the angle is asking. And if you look at that diagram, it's clearly saying the north pole and this pole obviously is a parallel, right? Parallel lines, and this is the cross line, intersection line. So you can easily see this and that angle theta is, they are alternate angles, so they are same. So I can just straight away write down it is 31 degree, because theta and that angle is the same. Okay, so this is the angle is for the question B, the air base from the drop off point. So this is the bearing of the air base from drop off point. Look at the another example, and then we can see what kind of question can be asked in trigonometry in regards to bearing. Let me just look at another one. What I have here. Okay, here you can see that we have the question: a ship travels due south for 3 kilometer, then on a bearing of 130 degree for 5 kilometer. Very good. So it means if we think that this is our starting point, okay, and it is going 3 kilometers south, so again you can imagine that is our bearing, right? That is our bearing, and from that starting point, that is starting point, okay, it is going to 3 kilometer first, so go 3 kilometer towards the south. So obviously it's coming like that. Let's say this is our 3 kilometer, okay, up to here. Okay, so this is our 3 kilometer, and then after that it is going to bearing 130 degree. So from that point it is making a bearing of 130 degrees. I'm making like a north and south, right? So 130 degree bearing 5 kilometer. So let's say 130 degrees kind of like that. So it is making here. So it is going after making 130 degree bearing, it is going 5 kilometer, right? 5 kilometer. Okay. How far east the ship is from the starting point? Okay, from the starting point means from there, right? How far east means this is east direction. Obviously, you can see this is our east, right? So basically, it is asking how far it is going on that direction. Obviously, if you make a vertical line here, okay, because this is your final destination, right? So this is our final destination, I can say, and this is our starting point. So so that destination from that starting point, obviously this is the east part only, that is the amount is going to the east direction, right? So what I can do here, if you use a right angle triangle, this right angle triangle, and use the trigonometric ratio, and for that we need to have the inside angle, and you know it is total 130, and obviously the first part is 90, so 90 plus 40 degrees giving 130. So we know this angle, we know this hypotenuse, so we can obviously get, for example, let's say this is our x and this is our y. So our first question is basically east direction, which is x. So we can say our question A is just asking for x, right? X is what? So x is the east, or how much is traveling to the east direction, and for that we can use just, you know, that cos theta, or in this case we know that cos theta equal to, if it is a theta, okay, so cos theta equal to hypotenuse adjacent over hypotenuse, which is x over, so adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 5. So you can just straight away write down x equal to 5 cos of 40 degree, and 5 cos 40 degree, if you do that calculation, it will give you 3.83 kilometer. Okay, 3.83, obviously it's a kilometer, the unit, right? Okay, so this is for our part A, but if I do the part B, let's say I'm just using the different color to make sure that it is part B, right? So when you're doing part B, it's asking how much is going to south direction from the starting. Okay, let's say we are finding first that's how much is traveling towards the south direction. Obviously this is south direction, right? South, right? So south direction, so this is south and this is the starting point, so don't confuse with that. So this is the ship starting point, this is the south direction, this is the north direction, right? Now how much is going to south from that point, you can easily calculate y. So y, you can use just trigonometric ratio, and it is 5 sine 40 degree, and 5 sine 40 degree will give you 3.21 kilometer. But don't stop here, because the question is clearly asking find how far south the ship from the starting point. So it means from here, if I look at the south up to moving up to that point, so from here to here, so it means you have to add that part first. 3 kilometer also it's moving south, and also 3.21, so total it would be total south direction is traveling 3.3 plus 3.21, right? So that is 3 first and then 3.21, which is 6.21 kilometer is traveled towards the south direction. Hope you guys will understand and do more problems based on bearing, and it would be giving you more understand about this topic. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel if you'd like to see more up-to-date videos. Thank you.